Reading Srimad Bhagavatam 5.4.19. Sa kadachit atmano Bhagavan Rishabho Brahma Vartagato Brahma Rishi Pravara Satyam Prajanam Nisamayatinam Atmajam Vahati Atmana Prasraya Pranaya Bhadam Suyantritam Api Upakshiyaschayan Iti Hovacha Saha he kadachit once Atmanaha while on a tour Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rishabha, Lord Rishabha, Brahma Avartakrataha, when he reached the place known as Brahma Varta, identified by some as Brahma and by others as a place near Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. You know why they say it is Brahma? Because Burma was called Brahmadesh and Thailand was called Ramadesh. You know, the old name of Thailand was, what was the old name of Thailand? Siam. And this side was called Brahma. You see, that's why I came to Burma. See? This is Brahma Varta. That's why Prabhupada put here the word Burma. See? Iravadi river. There you have Ayodhya. See? The old name was Siam, Sri Ram. And this side was called Brahmadesh. Brahma Rishi Pravaraha Sapyam. In a meeting of first class Brahmanas, Vijayanam, while the citizens, Nisamyantinam, were hearing Atmajam, his sons, Avahita Atmanaha, attentive, Prashraya, of good behavior, Pranaya, of devotion, Vara, by an abundance, Suyantritan, well controlled, Api, although Upachiyan, teaching, or it's Upashikshayan. Shiksha means teaching, no? Iti, thus, suddenly, Uvacha said, while touring the world, Lord Rishabhadev, the Supreme Lord, reached a place known as Brahmavarta. There was a great conference of learned Brahmanas at that place, and all the king's sons attentively heard the instruction of the Brahmanas there. In that assembly, within the hearing of the citizens, Rishabhadev instructed his sons. Although they were already very well behaved, devoted, and qualified, he instructed them so that in the future they would rule the world very perfectly. Thus he spoke as follows. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The instruction of Lord Rishabhadev to his sons are very valuable If one wants to live peacefully within the world, this world which is full of miseries, the next chapter, Lord Rishabdev gives his son this valuable instruction. Towards the end, the purport of Vedanta purport of the fifth canto, fourth chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Characteristics of Rishabdev, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we're carrying on reading the first chapter, chapter 5 of the fifth canto, first verse. This verse has been quoted many, many times by Srila Prabhupada. So I recommend that you memorize this verse. Rishabha Uvacha Nayam Deho Deha Bhajan Nirloke Kasta Kaman Harhate Vid Bhujam E Tapo Devyam Putra Kahayena Sattvam Sudaya Jasman Brahma Saukyam Tu Anantam. So this is a very important verse. Rishabha Uvacha, Lord Rishabdev said, No, not I am this Deha, body, Deha Bhajam, of all living entities who have accepted material bodies. Nirloke, in this world, Kastan, troublesome, Kaman, sense gratification, Arhate, deserves, with Pujam, of stool eaters, Ye, which Tapaha, austerities, and penances, Divyam, divine, Putrakaha, my dear son, Yena, by which Sattvam, the heart, Sudayat, become purified, Yasmat, from which Brahma Saukyam, spiritual happiness, too, certainly, Anandam, unending. Lord Rishabdev told his son, my dear boys, of all the living entities who have accepted material body in this world, one who has been awarded this human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even dogs and for hawks that eat stool. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified, and when one attains this position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which continues forever. Okay. In this verse, Lord Rishabdev tells his sons about the importance of human life. The word Dehabhak refers to anyone who accepts a material body, but the living entity who is awarded the human form must act differently from animals. Animals like dogs and hawks enjoy sense gratification by eating stool. After undergoing severe hardships all day, human beings are trying to enjoy themselves at night by eating, drinking, having sex, and sleeping. At the same time, they have to properly defend themselves. However, this is not human civilization. Human life means voluntarily practicing suffering for the advancement of spiritual life. There is, of course, suffering in the lives of animal plants which are suffering due to their past misdeed. However, human beings should voluntarily accept suffering in the form of austerities and penances in order to attain the divine life. After attaining the divine life, one can enjoy happiness. After all, every living entity is trying to enjoy happiness, but as long as one is engaged in the material body, he has to suffer different kinds of miseries. A higher sense is present in the human form. We should act according to the superior advice in order to attain eternal happiness and go back to God. It is significant in this verse that the government and the natural guardian, the father, should educate subordinates and raise them to Krishna consciousness. Devoid of Krishna consciousness, every living being suffers in the cycle of birth and death perfection. To relieve them from this bondage and enable them to become blissful and happy, Bhakti Yoga should be taught. A foolish civilization neglects to teach people how to raise the platform of Bhakti Yoga. Without Krishna consciousness, a person is no better than a hog or a dog. The instruction of Rishabdev are very essential at the present moment. People have been educated and trained to work very hard for self-gratification. And there is no sublime aim in life. A man travels to earn his livelihood, leaving home early in the morning, catching a local train and being packed in a compartment. He has to stand for an hour or two in order to reach his place of business. Then again he takes a bus to get his office. At the office he works hard from 9 to 5. Then he returns. Then it takes 2 or 3 hours to return home. After eating, he has snacks and he goes to sleep. For this hardship, his only happiness is little snacks. Yan maituna adi grahamedi sukham maitucham. Bishop Dev clearly states that human life is not meant for this kind of existence, which is enjoyed even by dogs and hogs. Nayam sukhapo. Huh? A human being should try to live in a different way and should not try to imitate dogs and hogs. The alternative is mentioned. Human life is meant for tapasya, austerity and penance. By tapasya, one can get out of material clutches. And one is situated in Krishna consciousness, devotional service. His happiness is guaranteed eternally. By taking to Bhakti Yoga, devotional service, one's existence is purified. The living entity is seeking happiness, life after life. But he can make a solution to all his problems simply by practicing Bhakti Yoga. Then he immediately becomes eligible to return home back to God. It is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma chamidevyam evam yogeti tattadaha jatpadeham punarjanma naiti maveti so. For one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activity does not upon leaving the body take his birth again in material birth, but attains to my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So this verse, I have to chant. Om Jnana Timirantasya Jnanam Jnana Shulaka Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Vistam Satchitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamam Vidati Swapadam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuka Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sakajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Samsadi Shadvitam Shavadutam Originam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaganvitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopikakanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchna Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishavan Sutta Devi Pranamami Hare Priya Vancha Kalpatarudhyascha Kripa Sindhuve Vacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaram Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschati Deshakari Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this verse has got two sections. One section is the speaking about the futileness of sense gratification. Yeah? First two lines. Doing sense gratification is comparable to animal like what? Stool eating animal like dogs and hogs. And the second half of the verse speaks about the solution and the purpose of human life. So we will do a little bit of exercise today. I think that will help you understand. So where in the Bhagavad Gita speaks about the futileness of self gratification? Hmm? Many verses. Uh, 520. We go from chapter 1 like that, otherwise we'll jump a lot. Huh? I know that verse very well. Let us others. Chapter 1, let's see. You know, chapter 1, where self gratification is, you know, despite of. Anyone knows? Chapter 1, let's see. Anyone? Huh? Come on. I can think of the verse that when Arjuna says, when the society goes into self gratification, then there will be unwanted progeny. They will not worship God. As a result, it creates a hellish situation. Do you know which verse is that? Huh? Huh? 142, 140. Yeah? So here Arjuna is giving his viewpoint about how dangerous it is to engage in irreligious activities. He got no more phone and he lost his phone now. So no book also. He's memorized everything. Very powerful mind. So here you can see Adharma, Abhibavat Krishna, Pradushyanti Kulastriyaha, Srisu Dustastu, Vashneya, Jayate, Vanashankaraha. So this is what happens. Huh? When irreligion is prominent in the family, oh Krishna, the woman of the family become polluted. And from degradation of woman, oh descendant of Vishnu, comes unwanted progeny. So you see how sense gratification means against God consciousness. So when that happens, you see what happens? Huh? You understand? It's not something that we all can take it very cheaply. Right? An increase of unwanted population certainly creates hellish life for both the family and those who destroy family tradition. Ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performance of offering them food and water entirely stop. No, they don't want to, they don't care. No more puja. Hmm? By evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciplic succession that those whose family tradition are destroyed dwell always in hell. So you see, if you go into sense gratification and not become religious, that's why it says you eat, you enjoy sense gratification like in this human form, and it is akin to animalistic life. Uh, animal that you do what? Uh, and it is very troublesome. Kastakaman. Why this word custom is used? Miserable. Because when you go against God consciousness, you suffer a lot of miseries. Right? You understand? Where else after this? Is there some more? Why this Korea word comes here? So Arjuna's argument is that I don't think I will do this fight. Uh, I don't think I want to do that. Asastram Sastra Panaya. So this is one point that sense gratification is dangerous because it makes you become a adharmavit. That means you go against the religious principle. And when you go against religious principle, you create what? Hellish situation. And everybody goes to hell. Yeah, this argument of Arjuna. Right? Where else it says sense gratification is very bad? Where else? Anybody? Before 244, any verse? Hmm? Anyone? Huh? Yeah, in 244, there's a famous verse that it's always explained. Bhogaishwarya prashaktanam kaipartha setasham yavasamika buddhi samadhanam vidyate. So here it says, in the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination of devotional service to Supreme Lord does not take place. So now we have heard that if you enjoy sense gratification, you go to hell. You bring everything to hell. Right? Family tradition, everything is finished. Varna Sankara Vijayate means children all are becoming completely what? Rascals. Now Krishna is saying if you go and do this thing, you will not be able to get devotional service. In other words, you not only go to hell, you will not be able to get the mercy of the Lord. Yes? Yes or not? How dangerous this is? Our hello? Dangerous. Because if you don't get God, then what is your use of your life? Huh? You can live without God. Hello? Huh? Understand? Yeah. See, Krishna is speaking. See, Krishna is God. No, see, he's speaking about you will not get devotional service. Then he immediately goes to this verse. You see what is he saying now? The Vedas deal mainly with subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendent to the three modes. Be free from dualities and from all anxiety of gain and safety and be established. Because sense gratification, Vedas speak about sense gratification. Do this puja, that puja, Agni puja, right? So Krishna immediately bring, if you cannot get devotional service, then you will do this thing, sense gratification, that we explained at length in the previous class about how if you don't follow one ashram system, everything is finished. If you don't accept the authority of Krishna, you'll fall down. So that means if you go on the Bhogeswara platform, that means you are rejecting, you won't be able to get Krishna. So what you will do? You will fall down. How you will fall down? Because we just said you fall down and you go to hell. But here, you will fall down to what? Sense gratification. And sense gratification means hellish life. You see how Krishna is so expert. It's simply speak here. But I think I spoke that other class, about importance of varnashram. Those who attended that class, how if you don't accept any members of the varnashram do not accept the supremacy of Krishna, will fall down. And then goes down to, they will go and follow the Vedas and do all the karma kanda thing, and one thing after they become imbued with all kind of bad qualities, correct? I explained at length. So see how Krishna is also speaking the same point. Of course, indirectly saying, you will give up this Vedas, you Vedas, because if you cannot get devotional service, then you will go into the karma kanda platform. Two things will happen. If you don't do devotional service, you will be attracted to karma kanda and what is that? Jnana kanda. One is speculation and the other one is sense gratification. Both are sense gratification anyway. So see how dangerous it is. So then sense gratification, not serving the senses of Krishna, is very dangerous. Right? That's why Krishna is telling Arjuna, you don't do this. It is very bad. Where else is sense gratification been despised of? What other verses? Can anyone say?
67. 67. 60.
Huh? 267.
60.
50.
55.
55. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties for desire for sense gratification, which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind is thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. So unless you give up sense gratification, you cannot, not only sense gratification means mental concoction, you cannot become purified. Right? So Krishna is advising that you must give up sense gratification. Where else? Where else? Well, 60. The senses are so strong and impetus to Arjuna, they forcefully carry away the mind, even of man of discrimination endeavoring to control. How does this relate? What is sense gratification? You engage in sense gratification, you cannot control your mind. Yes? Is that the purport of it? What are the verses? 61, 62, very important, yeah. One who restrains his senses, keeping them under full control and fixes consciousness upon me, is known as a man of steady intelligence. This doesn't show you're going to be sense gratifier, right? This verse is also very important here. See how you fall down. This is famous verse. What happens when you go and engage in sense gratification? What happens? While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and such attachment lust develops and lust anger arises. From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. When intelligence is lost, one falls down again into material. See that? See how dangerous sense gratification is. Huh? You, the senses act with sense object, correct? Huh? Then attraction, correct? Attraction means lust in the heart. From lust, what happened? Cannot get it. Anger, anger cannot control. Senses become bewildered. Yes. And then what? Madness, you fall down. See how dangerous sense gratification is. Hmm? Correct? 61, 62. Yeah? Right? You see how, actually, the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is explaining about how dangerous it is into getting into sense gratification. What else after this? Anything else?
67.
Huh?
67.
67. So if you become Krishna conscious, then only you can cross over the modes of literature. This verse we quote many times. Huh? Actually, this verse also is very important. The 65, the Prabhupada called Prasade Sarva Dukkanam. Is it this? 66. If you engage in sense gratification, you will not be connected to Krishna. That's now we read Bhogeshwar Pushaktana. And we have neither transcendental intelligence nor steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. How can there be any happiness without peace? In other words, if you go and enjoy your senses, you're going to be in big trouble. Correct? You cannot get peace. Not that anyway, if I die, I go to hell, then who knows anyway. You can go on that theory. But even before you go there, you're also going to face a lot of misery and unhappiness. You understand? It is not that only when you go hell only you're going to suffer. No. If you do not become Krishna conscious, your misery is that's why Kasta Kaman. With Bujave, you're going to face a lot of miseries. Yes? That's why there's another verse that, what's his name? The verse said, everyone knows material world is misery, miserable. After knowing, how can they act like a cow? What is that? A jack, what? Ass or a goat or an ass or a what? Huh? You understand? You see how detrimental it is. This is how your senses can be carried away. So how you have to, only with the help of Krishna you can control. Alright, I think we sum up on chapter 2. What else?
70, 71.
Huh?
70, 71.
7?
70, 71.
Oh, Bhagavatam.
270, 277.
Oh, 70, the last two verses. Huh? A person who has given up all desires for sense gratification, who lives free from desire, who has given up all the sense of proprietorship, is devoid of false ego, he alone can attain real peace. This is the way of spiritual and godly life, after attaining which a man is not bewildered. If one is thus situated, within an hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. So if you give up sense gratification, you can go back to spiritual life. Huh? So again, Krishna says in third chapter, If you do not work, what is that verse? You are entitled to work, but you are not entitled to the result. What is that? What verse is that? Huh? 247. We missed that. This is the verse often quoted by the karmis. They say, Krishna says you are entitled to do your work. They have misinterpreted this. Here Krishna is saying that you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. In other words, you are not entitled for sense gratification. Never consider yourself the cause or result for your activities, never to be attached to not doing your duty. Right? So, sense gratification is dangerous. Sense gratification is what? Dangerous. Now we will explain to you how this sequence goes. Krishna says in the 3:9 that we quote many times, Yajnanartha karmanayatra. Any activities is done not for Krishna, you will simply create bondage. You understand? Sense gratification means bondage. How that bondage works? Explain here. If you don't perform, very important word. When you don't follow, my dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice, thus established by the Vedas, certainly leads a life full of sin. Living only for satisfaction of senses, such a person lives in vain. This is sense gratification. If you don't follow the rules and regulation, then what happens? What happens? You will lead a life full of sin. And when living for satisfaction of senses, such a person lives in vain. That's why it is equated to the life of a dog and an ass, which is, very, very painful. See, this very important, this word. The moment you don't follow rules and regulation, you are going to live a sinful life. It's synonymous. If you follow, you are safe. If you don't follow, you're going to. Now, what happens here? See, in Sanskrit, this is this verse. Agayor Indriya Ramo. Agayo means sin, right? Because of Indriya Ramo means enjoying the senses. And you see this word, Mogam Parthasa Jivati. Moga means what? Is living in illusion. He doesn't know what to do, what not to do. Understand? Now you see here in this verse, again this word, Moga Asha, Moga Karmana, Moga Vigyan, Moga Gyana Vishetasha, Rakshashim Asurim Chaiva, Prakriti Mohini Shritaha. So we know he's going to get bewildered. Now bewilderment means that his hopes, Asha means what? Hope. Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demonic and atheistic views. Understand? It's not that you just fall down. You're becoming a what? Demon. When you go away from Krishna, you're going to become what? Demonic. Not only demonic, Rakshasi, atheistic. Huh? How dangerous it is. Hello? And all your things are baffled. Your hopes are baffled. Your what? Your hopes for liberation are baffled. Their fruitive activities and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. And you can see people who are atheistic, people who are demonic, how is their life? Understand? So the sequence flows. The moment you don't follow the rules and regulation, you will be doing sinful activities. When you do sinful activity, you become bewildered, and then what happens? You become attracted to demonic views. Yes, you become atheistic, and that's dangerous. Yes, understand? Of course, chapter 16 explains about all about demonic qualities. Yes, and there it is explained. Krishna says there are three ways to go to hell. What are the three gates that go to hell? Lust, anger, and greed. Just now we read how this lust comes. Correct? How the lust comes? Sense object, sense object. See, everything is flowing. Correct? Dangerous. Understand? It's not something. It's all right. Prabhu. Everybody is lusty in the world. No, who is not lusty? Huh? It's human. No, it's human to be lusty. Huh? Hello? Understand? Dangerous. It is what? Dangerous. Understand this? There are three gates to hell. What was that? Huh? 1621. So you're going to go to hell? I mean, look, that's dangerous. Do you want to go there? Trividam narakeshedam dvaram nasanam atmanah kama prodatta lobas tasmat etat triyam jajat. So you go in that way, the three gates leading to hell, lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give this up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. Dangerous. Not only that, you can see here again, everything we quote this many times. Aneka chitta vibramta. You know this word, vibramta? Mohajala samamrita, prashaktaha kama bhogeshu, patanti narakeshu cha. How many times is said here, you go to hell, go to hell, go to hell, go to hell. Huh? Right? Now we're just using the Bhagavad Gita, we're not going anywhere else. Those perplexed by various anxiety and bound by a network of illusion, they become too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and fall down into hell. See how dangerous and detrimental it is? Yes? Not finished, huh? Krishna says here, going to hell is one thing, right? For those people who are mischievous, huh? For those who are mischievous, who don't want to accept this fact, those who are envious and mischievous or lowest among men, I perpetually cast them the ocean material existence into various demonic species of life. They go down to lower and lower species, and after attaining repeated birth among species of demonic life, O son of Kunti, such person can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. How do you like that? I mean, this is not fun, you know. Can you imagine? Prabhu, I like to stay in the Marina Trench. Nobody will disturb me there. Huh? Think. So now we have described to you, of course, we have not gone to the Bhagavatam verses. There are many, many, many verses. You know, the famous verse, human life is not meant for sense gratification. What is that verse? Bhagavatam? What? Nayam, Kamasya Nayandriya Priti. Human life is not meant for sense gratification. There are so many verses. Actually, the whole Bhagavatam is speaking about no sense gratification. And I think I have made my point clear that sense gratification and Krishna consciousness cannot go together. Cannot go together.
Sometimes sense gratification in Krishna consciousness. Sometimes just previous chapters they were forced to accept sense gratification to continue in maintaining society and how it explain that.
Yeah, that we have explained at length. Sense gratification is allowed under condition. For example, let's say now this verse. This verse. Yakyasistasino santo mucyanti sarvakhil visha bhujante te goham again agaham papa e pachanti atma karana. So the devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is first offered for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sins. Again, sense gratification. The consequence of sense gratification. How to prevent that? How sense gratification is given some leeway? You must offer the result to. That's why Krishna says, all that you do, all that you eat, all that austerity, everything you do it as an offering to me. So that is how you can live. You cannot live otherwise. Because if you don't offer the food, you will be implicated. Yes? Krishna can take some white rice. No, I will eat everything too. So, you think Krishna is such a fool? Understand? That goes not only for food, it goes for every activity. That's why Krishna tells Arjuna, in all circumstances, you think of me, right? Offer me, what? Become my devotee. You understand? That is the saving. What? You cannot try to transgress that. That's not possible. In other words, you have no choice. You have no choice. Because everything is tightly controlled by Krishna. You understand? You cannot. You can. This is. You think you can drift away? You're going to be in big trouble. Understand? Are there no cockroaches? There are no what fishes and all that? No. What? Whose soul is there? That's why Krishna said, I cast them to the lower species. Who casts? I cast. That means who's the controller? So if you don't want to surrender to me and you want to act independently, you will be finished, Arjuna. Hello? Only Arjuna is finished. I don't believe all these things like this are man written. Someone asked the question, right? Ambagla, you are Hare Krishna, all these crazy guys. So you try your luck. Yes. So therefore, it is dangerous. Then in the next two lines, it explained how to overcome this. I mean, we have covered, almost finished already the time. You know about how bad sense gratification is. Now, it's speaking about how to overcome this problem. That's a solution. What is the solution? First word he used. What is that? Tapo divyam putra. Tapo divyam. It is not some tapa. Tapa what anybody is doing. The fasting and Monday for Muruga and Sunday for Ganesh. You can do all that. That's austerity. We're not saying no. But the word here, tapa divyam is added. Why? What is this divyam? Something to do with Krishna. Janma karma chami divyam. Again, when you use the word divyam, it is only referring to who? Krishna. Correct? That's why Prabhupada quoted that word, Janma karma chame divyam. So here, tapo, what is that? Tapo divyam. So when you do this transcendental austerity, what is that? Austerity pertaining to only Krishna. Understand? Not to the wife, not to the family, not no 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 no. Only to then what you get? Tapo divyam putraka yena. What you get? Yena. What happens? What happens when you do this austerity? What happens? Huh? Ah, Tapo devyam putraka yena satvam. You come to the mode of understand, Prabhu. You see, this is our crazy life. Huh? This is our crazy life. Yeah, we're so crazy. What is this? What is that verse? This is not the verse. 19, 24. 1924. What is that? You know, a person gets attracted to all this sense gratification by birth. What is that verse? 11:20 or 11:20? What? I forgot. Hmm? Hare Krishna. By birth, one is automatically attracted to all this sense gratification. 11:21. Huh? Oh, yeah, correct. Thought it was in the 19th. See, so you see, simply by material birth, human beings become attached with their minds to personal sense gratification, long duration of life, sense activities, bodily strength, sexual potency, friends, family. Their minds are thus absorbed in that which defeats the actual self-interest. So by birth, by default, we are already stuck with this thing. Understand? You follow? Every one of us. The moment we took what we are, oh, study hard. Why study hard? You get a degree. When you get a degree, then you will get a good job, correct? Then you will get a happy family. Huh? Yes? This has been the what? Huh? Yes. Understand? But this is not a fact. That's why it says, if you get into this, you're going to go into a lot of trouble that we already explained. Yes? So now the solution is to come to the mood of goodness. And you can only come to the mood of goodness if you do austerity. There's no other way to it. You understand? Huh? And if you don't do this austerity, you see what happens. Your mood of passion and ignorance. If you don't come to the goodness, you are stuck in the passion. Huh? Persons with perverted intelligence do not understand the actual purpose of Vedic knowledge, instead propagate the highest truths. What is this? I thought it was 26. Seems to get my thing wrong. When consciousness is fixed on the material body, home, and other similar objects of sense gratification, One spends one life chasing after material objects with the help of the senses. Consciousness that's powerfully affected by the mode of passion become dedicated to impermanent things, and in this way, irreligion, ignorance, attachment, and wretchedness arise. See, this is why we say you're going on the wrong direction. Understand? It's going to be dangerous, detrimental. That's why you must do austerity. And what is the austerity? What we recommend? Huh? You have to wake up in the morning, Mangala Arati, you have to chant, follow the four principles. When you do that, then you come to the mode of goodness, and goodness, when you become Sudhiyat, Brahma Saukyam Ta Anantam. When you come to that platform, then you come to transcendental goodness. When you come to transcendental goodness, then you get happiness, which is, so austerity will bring you to religiosity. Huh? Happiness, you see how it works? When the living entity becomes strongly situated in the mode of goodness, then religious principles characterized by devotional service to me become prominent. One can strengthen the mode of goodness by cultivation of those things that are already situated in goodness, and thus religious principles arise. You become what? You come to the mode of. Now, there's another thing why you have to do this austerity, which is actually more important. Why? Because you come to the mode of goodness, that is accepted. And when you come to goodness, then you come to become religious, and then you transcend, yes. But actually, the real reason of doing this austerity, why? This is explained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Durapahe alpapasha sevaka vaikunta varmasu yantropi gayate nityam deva devo janardana. Persons whose austerity is meager can hardly obtain the service of the pure devotees, progressing on the path to the kingdom of God, the Vaikuntha. Pure devotees engage in 100% in glorifying the Supreme Lord, who is the Lord of the demigod and the controller of all living entities. Now, you understand this point? Hello? Huh? It is more important than just coming to the mode of goodness. I have explained at length in the previous class how devotees association is more valuable than simply worshipping the demigod. Yes? Hello? So you see here today, austerity is principal ingredient in trying to get the association of. If you don't do austerity, forget it. You cannot get association of devotees. It's not possible. That's why it says, person whose austerity is meager can hardly obtain the service of pure devotees. You understand this point? Huh? Hello? Yeah, last week was why devotee association is crucial, more than demigod, right? How to get this devotee association? You have to do austerity. That's why I recommend you come here, you chant, you follow the principle, right? Yes? Then when you do it, then you get connected to who? Huh? Huh? What happens when you get connected? Hello? What happens when you get connected?
Things are taken out.
Huh?
Things are taken out.
Sinful activities are removed. Very good. What else? Hello? Hmm? 115, 16. That verse Susrusoyo 1 2.
One.
No, not 2 1. 1 2. See here. Susruyo Siddhanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi. Vasudeva Kataruchi. Syan Mahaseva Vipra. Punyatirtha Viseva. O twice born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely free from all vice, great service is done. By such service, one gains an affinity for hearing the message of Vasudeva. You see how the connection, you go and do seva, you do your tapasya, then you get association of devotees. By getting association of devotees, you have what? You do service to them, and by doing service to them, what happens? You develop an affection to hear Vasudeva. Ah. Not only you're free from sinful activities, unless you're free from sinful activities, no possibility of going to Krishna anyway. You understand? That's why austerity is so important. Austerity is so important. That's why it is stressed in today's world. Tapo divyam putrakaha. It is not that we just simply live like a dog and cat, eat, sleep, make, defend, and earn money. Oh, India is now a big thing. Wow, you must go to that. What college is that? No more IIT. What is that? The business school. No, you go, you become the CEO of Google. He's going to die now. You take over. Huh? Eh? All are thinking like that. Oh, CEO of Google and, Pepsi Cola and what not. They think this is what? This is what? The purpose of human life. But no. This is the purpose of animal life. Animals also do this nonsense. Eh? What is that verse? Nayam Sukhapu. No. What is that? Prahlad Maharaj is saying, this sense gratification is available even in the animals.
763.
Huh?
763.
7? 7, 6 what?
3.
7, 6,
3.
3. Sukam Indriyakam Daitya Deha Yogena Dehinam Sarvatra Labhyate Daivat Yata Dukham Ayat Nata. Maharaj Prahlad continued, my dear friends born of demonic families, their happiness perceived with the reference to the sense object by contact with the body can be obtained in any form of life, according to one's past fruitive activity. Such happiness is automatically obtained without endeavor, just as we obtain distress. It's a waste of time. Any species you take, they also have the same happiness. Not that you're a human being, you get 10 times no happiness. That doesn't make sense. Understand? So therefore, the purpose of human life is to practice this austerity so that we get a chance to get attracted to Krishna. You understand? That's why Vasudeva Kataruchi. And to get that, you need to do service to the pure devotees. And in order to do service to pure devotees, you have to have heaps and heaps of pious activities based on your austerity. Yeshanta antakata papam jananam punya karmanam. It is not some whimsical thing that you're doing, This is all simply some nonsense. You understand? Krishna consciousness is based on so many rules and regulations and austerity and penance. That's why Krishna says, after many, many births, one who is what? Intelligent. He will know that I am all in all. Correct? Vasudevam Sarvamiti. You understand? So therefore, stress is given on austerity. And especially austerity means to serve the devotees. Huh? See? When you serve the devotees, you get attraction to hear. What happens when you get attraction to hear? What happens? Huh? What's so good about hearing about Krishna? Huh? What's the purpose? Punyam srinvata swagata Krishna, punya sravana kirtana. Hridyandasto he abhadrani vidunoti swasatam. Uh, When you get attracted to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Paramatma, Super Soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of truthful devotee, cleanses the desire for material enjoyment, which we have discussed right now. Today's subject is material, and who can get rid of that material? You cannot do it yourself. It's not possible. It's not? It's not possible. Krishna cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages. So you need to get attracted to hear his messages. When you get attracted to hearing his messages, then Krishna in the heart, he cleanses you of all this material desires to enjoy Maya. Understand? Hello? Hello? You understand or not? What? You see how it works, right? Urge to hear his messages, which are themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. So this is the method why austerities has been overly stressed. If you don't want to do this austerity, then forget it. You can get permanent resident in this material world. You can be happy. Come back next body, next body, next body. Carry on. Yes? This is a very tight arrangement. Understand? You cannot think that you can do it your way. Not possible. Huh? Hello? Will not work. Because Krishna says that I will destroy all these things. And what? Even how you build your castle, Krishna will wipe it out. Yes? So sense gratification is not recommended at all. Alright? Any questions or comments on this subject?
If a devotee becomes the CEO of Festival or UL, is there a problem?
If the CEO become, what a devotee become a CEO of what? Yeah?
The biggest company.
Well, of what? This company is also implicated sinfully. Understand? When you become engaged, you will be implicated.
So are you suggesting that these two things are contradictory and if somebody is a devotee, then
You see, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami were much more higher than the CEO. Right? And why they gave up? After seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they gave up. They don't want to. In fact, Sanatan was hiding away and he got arrested. He didn't want to go to job anymore. But that's the symptom of a person who becomes Krishna conscious. He loses the interest of working with. You understand?
so eventually when a true real devotee will have to give up everything on
Yes. If a person is really interested in spiritual life, then eventually he will give up all these attachments. Fruity work. This verse is there in the CC also. Can someone help me find this verse from 11, 29, 34? Because this translation is different from what Prabhupada translated. A person who gives up all fruitive activities. Hello? Huh? Adi? 4 what?
194.
19. Yeah? Until what? 4. 4. 19. This is Prabhupada. This is not until. Okay, this is Prabhupada translation. Same verse. The living entity who is subject to birth and death attains immortality when he gives up all material activity, dedicates his life to the execution of my order, and acts according to my direction. In this way, he becomes fit to enjoy spiritual bliss derived from exchanging loving mellows with me. Understand? So, of course, if a person is involved in his family situation and all that, we don't immediately recommend you to just pack up and go. But ultimately, you have to give up what? All these fruitive activities. That is put out by Krishna to Uddhava. So this may not be possible initially in early stages, but when a person becomes very advanced in Krishna consciousness, like the examples of Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, then they don't want to work. He was what? Chief Minister. How much more higher is the Chief Minister than the CEO? Who's higher? Huh? And they gave up. What to speak about that? There's another verse about Bharat Maharaj, how he gave up his big empire and everything, as passing through. What is that verse? 5, 5, 14 something.
514.
5, 14, 23.
43.
So you see here again, this is Bharat Maharaj, he is the emperor of the world. While in the prime life, the great Maharaj Bharat gave up everything because he was so fond of serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Uttama Sloka. He gave up his beautiful wife, nice children, great family, great friends, and enormous empire. Although these things are very difficult to give up, Maharaj Bharat was so exalted that he gave them up just as one gives up stew after evacuating. Such was the greatness of His Majesty. Unless you get Krishna, it is not possible to do this. You understand? You cannot do it artificially. That's not possible. Unless you got a higher taste, you cannot give up lower taste. It's not possible. You understand? You see you.
So let's say in the material world, if people are not spiritually advanced, right? It isn't better for them to reach to the position at least some point with good association and eventually they might be calling.
If someone is ignorant and addicted to the path of samsara, how can one who is actually learned, merciful, and advanced in spiritual knowledge engage in fruitive activity and thus further entangle him in material existence? If a blind man is walking down the wrong path, how can a gentleman allow him to continue on this way to danger? How can he approve this method? No wise or kind man can allow this. Hello? Hello? Huh? Surrender. You put up his hands already, surrender. Cannot defeat the Bhagavatam, Prabhu. You can have any questions. Understand? You want to do that? You say, never mind, they are happy you are. Let them, do all nonsense. Then you are not a human being. That means you are not compassionate. Understand? You cannot. No sane man will allow this. Huh? Yes? Hello? So we should be compassionate. Why all this explanation? Why Krishna brought the Rishabh there? Everything, why? Educate us. You're going on the wrong way. Why hard word? Stool eating. Hey, Prabhu, why speak like I was giving a class, I quoted this verse, that he passed everything out like stool. The person in the audience got upset. I said, why are you speaking about stool and all this? What? That's a fact. You understand? Unless we use hard words, who is going to learn? Correct? Yes? Huh? So you see how the Bhagavatam is giving all these analogies so that we wake up. Otherwise, we will be so dull. Understand? Find fault. They'll find fault. They think they know better. Especially one who's materialist, huh? He thinks he know better. You understand? That's why you cannot wake up a sleeping man. No, sorry, you cannot wake up someone who's pretending to sleep. But you can wake up a sleeping man. You understand? This is important. So today I summarize, any more questions before we wrap up? So there are two sections of this verse today. The dangerousness of what? Sense gratification and the cure for this. So two very important points. So I hope you will understand this and apply. Application. The application is to seriously chant Hare Krishna. That's the best austerity for Kali Yuga. This way you will keep association of devotees and then you will make. Alright, so thank you again for flourish to all of you. Flourish to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. There's questions here. If austerity means to serve the devotee, then what does penance mean? Austerity and penance are the same word, right? Huh? Yeah, austerity and penance are two same words. Okay, Hare Krishna, all glories to God.